Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome with Vibes with Kay. I'm here with my cousin KayKay. We're going to talk
Finally.
about business and so much fun stuff. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get into this video. So, what's the name of your business?
My business name is Unapologetic Growth.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So to elaborate, it's basically like the message behind it is more so like basically not to give up. Like don't give up
Mm-hmm.
and don't feel bad for making mistakes along the way. That's like the biggest message is just don't feel bad for making mistakes, because a lot of the time, even myself, like when I made the business, it was around a time where I was questioning a lot of stuff that was going on like in my life, and it was just more so like, why me? Like why do I gotta go through all these things? And I'm sure mad people go through the same thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, why isn't things going the right way? Basically. So it was just like, it was just one day I was laying out like, you know what, like this, all of this was supposed to happen. Like
Right.
everything that's going on, although it's not the best things, not good things, but it was supposed to happen. So like, I'm gonna just get up on my feet, do what I
Mm-hmm.
gotta do to make sure that, I'm good. And so originally, I never thought that I was gonna have a business, honestly, because it was just like not in my interest. But because I'm not vocal, and as you
Mm-hmm.
can see, like it took me mad long to even do this interview. It's like I feel like this is my way of communicating with people through my brand and telling my story through my brand, and I know that I can relate to other people through my brand. So that's what unapologetic growth is all about. It's just like, don't give up. Don't be sorry for making those mistakes, because those mistakes will, make you into a better you eventually one day. So, and I
That's
know people just like, it's more like, even me, it was just, you want to give up sometimes. It's like, I don't
mm-hmm.
want to do this no more. I'm doing everything I got to do
Right.
and it's not working out. But one day it's going to work out. So unapologetic growth is something that you always look back on. Like, I did that. Like, I went through that, but I'm doing it now. So that's
Mm-hmm.
what it's all about. It's just to encourage people to just don't ever give up. Like, it's shit's going to happen one day.
Oh, so what year did you start your business?
I started it last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's about to be a year next month.
Oh wow, your anniversary is coming
Yes, my
up.
anniversary is coming up. So it's about to be a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about everything. Um, I was planning on doing my business like 2 years ago in 2020, but I
Mm-hmm.
just didn't have the resources. Wasn't getting the help that I needed, and I was just discouraged. And it was gonna be a whole different name on top of that. But unapologetic growth, I felt like it was a long name
Right.
at first, but it was like there's really no other name for my brand. I was like, I'm going with it, and that's that. There's no shorter way to say what I want to say. So it was what it was. I went with unapologetic growth, and
And
it's
you could
about to
do a
be a
lot
year.
of things with that name too, like
Yeah,
especially with designs and stuff like that.
yeah,
You could do a lot.
that's a fact. That's a fact. That's what I've been doing. Like, that's why I'm always coming out with new designs, because there's
Mm-hmm.
so much that I could do with it.
Right.
Like, so yeah.
Oh, okay. So, how is your work life balance? Like,
So basically, I mean, I work part time.
mm-hmm.
And so I only work, and it's a great balance for me at least. Like, I only work 3 to 4 days a week,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't work on weekends. So I
Right.
use my weekends and I dedicate that to my business. So any orders that I do get, like, I'm doing that on the weekend, so that way people get their orders
Mm-hmm.
during the week, in the beginning of the week or whatnot.
Right.
And it usually takes anywhere between 4 to 7 days for people to get their packages. And yeah, I do everything myself, and I try to do everything in a timely like manner, get everything back
Mm-hmm.
to people on time, so that way people aren't waiting too long or whatnot, and people are familiar with my schedule, so they know when to expect their packages and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. So it's unisex, right?
Unisex, and for kids too.
Oh, okay.
Originally I wanted to just, it was supposed to be just a kids clothing line.
Mm-hmm.
Because unapologetic growth is just like, at first my slogan was, pardon me, I'm still growing,
Oh, that's nice
which it
too.
was for kids. It's like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
still growing, like I'm gonna make mistakes. Like, don't, because people have a habit of talking to kids as if they already know things.
Right.
So that's another reason why I came up with the brand. It's like, stop talking to these kids like they know what they're doing, what to expect and stuff like that. So it was like on the back of the shirt it read, "Pardon me, I'm still growing. Like, don't fault me for any mistakes that I'm doing. Don't, make me feel like I can't do right, basically."
Right.
But then it was just like, as a full blown adult, we still make mistakes. So I was like, I'm gonna just make it for all ages. And so yeah, it's unisex for kids, and I'm trying to work more on female clothing as of right now. Because although it is unisex, I feel like it's could sometimes look like it's just for males,
Right.
but it's not. And so I've been doing like biker shorts and stuff like that. So that way it's more so like on the female side. So.
Oh, okay, that's good. But you can still use the other name for
design. I plan on doing that. I just don't know how I'm gonna do it yet.
Oh, okay.
So the other,
so that's coming soon, though. Okay?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, so we're gonna save that for another time. But I'm gonna put that and I'm gonna make something like, I feel like it should be like a separate project, kind of, because it was originally supposed to be the name. So I'm gonna definitely do that soon.
So how was your starting process? Like, did you have some struggles and?
My starting process, I just went all in. Like, I spent so much. I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm going to do it. Like, I do everything myself. I was like, I don't know who to reach out to, because I tried reaching out to people, asking people questions like, hey, how do I start? What do I need? And people just don't answer your questions. Like, people gatekeep. And so now I'm a gatekeeper. Like, I'm a gatekeeper now. So like, when people ask me questions, I don't answer. I mean, I did in the beginning. I did answer questions, but people will leave you on scene, and they don't, they just really come for the answers. It's not thank you for helping me or whatever. They really just, oh, I just grabbed some piece of information from her. Now I'm gonna go do my own thing. So I just stopped helping people as far as brand. But when I started, I bought everything I needed. I was like, you know what? Since I can't go to anyone like to help me, and since I'm not really that good at explaining certain things that goes on in my head, because everything is an image in the head that you got to bring to life.
Right.
So I'm not able to really explain certain things. Like, even this logo, I sketched this out first. Like, this is my my brand, and I'm gonna explain that in a moment. So I have to sketch it out so that way the person who was gonna like do it for me knew exactly what I wanted, and it came out perfect. It came out exactly how I wanted it to come out. So I bought everything, all the materials I needed for my brand. I bought it. I bought the embroidery machine. I bought my heat press. I bought the vinyl. I bought all of that, and then I just learned how to use all of those things by myself. And then ever since then, I've just been doing it.
Oh, okay, that's good. So sketching. So how long you knew how to like sketch?
First of all, I didn't even know I knew how to draw.
Oh my
God. I didn't even know I knew how to draw. I found out that I knew how to draw like after quarantine and stuff like that. It was just one day I was just sitting. I was like, I'm bored. I saw a lot of people do the sip and paint and go out for the sip and painting and stuff like that. So I was home. I bought my little wine. I bought my went to five and below. I bought the canvas, bought the paint and stuff, and then my first painting that I ever did was a Stitch painting from Lilo and Stitch. And I posted it, and everyone was like, "Are you selling that? Like, yo, that shit came on fire." I was like, "No, but thank you." Like, and then ever since then, like, that's when I did another painting, because someone was like, "Oh, you should do." They were recommending like different characters that I should do. So I did that. My next painting was a Winnie the Pooh, and it came out fire. So everyone was asking, like, "Are you selling that? Like, what you doing?" I was like, no, but I mean, if you want it, you can have it like $10, because I don't know how to charge. Yeah. So like, you can have it for like $10, even though it took me like 4 hours to do the painting. My first couple of paintings were $10-15 plus shipping. That was basically $5. I basically what do you call it? Like, what I gained from that was just $5. Right. So, and then I just kept on painting on my free time, and all of my paintings were just coming out really, really nice. I was like, I didn't know I could do this. It's like, so I could have took art very seriously in school if I knew that I could draw. But so yeah, I learned how to paint in 2021. In February of this year, made 2 years that I've been painting.
Wow. Yeah, our family's very talented.
Very, very. Yep.
So when starting your business, you said that you started asking people. So throughout this year and a half.
Yes.
So you don't have like any type of like mentor or anybody that.
Not at all. Like I said, whenever I did try to get info from people, they gatekeep, like, and they wouldn't tell me anything. So I would literally stay up all night, like just looking for the right material, the right, quality of things. So that way I'm not giving people like just cheap stuff and then
Right.
taxing on top of that. So I charge people based off of the quality of my things. And
Right.
I always like, since I'm doing it myself, I'm able to do like two different price ranges. So for instance, for like my sweatsuit, I have two different materials. So it really depends on what you want and how you want to spend your money. And so for something like, light in material and calm and stuff, I'll charge a specific price. Then if you want something luxury or something like that, heavyweight, that's another price. So I have the
Okay.
advantage of being able to charge different prices because I do it myself.
Are you planning on expanding, like hiring somebody to work with you, or I mean, work for you?
Right. I've been thinking about it, but like since I'm doing it, it's hard for me to see like who I would want to work with because I'm the one doing it. I know how I want it done and stuff
Right.
like that. But I feel like eventually, because I am like the road that I'm going on right now, I feel like I'm elevating and I'm gonna eventually need someone to work with me. I
Right.
wouldn't say for me, but with me. And I'm gonna need that eventually. But I think I'm gonna keep it in a family. I feel
Okay.
like I will feel more relieved that way. I got a lot of brothers, so I'm gonna eventually teach them how to do certain things, and then
Okay.
we'll elevate that way. I think it should be kept in a family.
Motivates you to keep going.
Okay. Honestly, the feedback that I get and knowing that my ideas and the designs and everything is actually getting noticed and people actually like it, it's like, okay, so I'm going on the right path. I'm going down the right path and I'm doing what I originally wanted to do, which was get a message out there. And people are understanding my message and they want more from me. Like, I get messages all the time that are so motivating. Like, I really like your work. You should keep it up. And then when people do purchase from me, like coming back for more and letting me know that what they purchased they really like, lets me know like, okay, yeah, I can keep going with this. I feel like if I wasn't getting the feedback that I'm getting now, I probably would have like gave up probably a long time ago because like, what's the point? But I haven't gotten any bad reviews as of yet. I don't want to jinx it though, but I haven't gotten any bad reviews, any bad like remarks about my brand or nothing. So it's like I could see myself going big with this, and I'm gonna definitely get there.
So, what do you do to promote yourself? Like, what type of stuff
Um,
that you do?
I honestly, it's just social media.
Okay.
Like, I post my work on social media. That's originally how it started in the first place. I posted my work, and people showed me and sent me feedback, and it's been like that ever since. Like, I post my work, whoever is willing to post it for me and stuff like that, I allow them to.
Right.
But for the most part, I'm the one promoting, my business.
Oh, okay. So, I see that on your Instagram you do like photo shoots, like most, like you do it outside. Like, how do you find like the right location to do your photo shoots, and what does it take behind the scenes, like doing all the process of your photo shoots?
So it really, like, so far I've done about like 3 or 2 photo shoots, if I'm not mistaken, and it was more like artistry kind of vibes. Like, I wanted to make sure that my clothing popped out, but that you also seen what was in the background too.
Right.
So it was a train station. I think it was 191st train station where it was just mad graffiti in the background. And I thought that like popped. And I usually try to do locations that other people haven't done yet, so that
Okay.
way my clothing brand pops out. Like, I want everything about my clothing brand to be unique. So majority of the times people do ask like, where, or that I don't gatekeep. Like, I'm not about to gatekeep, like, I'm not about to gatekeep no train station. And like, everybody already gets off at this stop, so you should already know, like, that's that. Like, that I'm gonna tell people. But I usually try to like the location, I try to make sure that the background is popping, and make sure that my clothes also pop as well. But I like unique things, unique locations. And since nowadays everything is like content create and stuff like that, I definitely try to go places where I know other people will want to go.
Right.
So yeah.
Oh, so with your clothing line, like, do you, like, since you do everything yourself, when it comes to like colors, like color schemes and stuff like that, like how do you envision those things? Because when it comes to interior design for me, I always think about the color palette of
Right.
how to decorate like a room or
Right.
a space, any space that I see. Like what does your vision when it comes to like color schemes and stuff like that, or the kind of style that you want your clothing?
So usually I'll start off with one color.
Okay.
I'll start off with like one idea basically.
Mhm.
So let's say if my original idea is I want to do something that's purple and black.
Mhm.
I'm gonna create a scenery and something that like um would make the purple and black stand
Your
out.
business in 5 years.
In 5 years, I see my brand. I mean, obviously, I'm trying to make it.
Mhm.
Like, I want it to be out there. I see celebrities in my brand. I mean, I've have had a few celebrities already in my brand. Yes,
Oh,
I have.
nice.
As far, I mean, like kids wise, at
Mhm.
least. But my goal is to have everyone in my brand. I feel like in 5 years, my message would have been across already. Because I do have a message that I'm trying to get across. So I think my message, everyone would already have received my message in 5 years.
I know that you do sketching. So,
Hmm.
when did you learn how to sketch?
Um, I learned how to sketch. It's been 2 years now. In February, it made 2 years. And honestly, I didn't even know I knew how to draw. It was just
Mhm.
something like at the time it was a lot of sipping and painting going on,
Mhm.
and I didn't have a group of friends to go do that with, so I did it at home. I was
Right.
home. I bought my little wine. I was drawing, and it came out fire. I posted it, and everyone was like, "Are you selling that?" And I was like, "No, I'm just showing my work." But when I noticed that a lot of people was swiping up asking me if I'm selling it, I was like, let me see, and let's see what else I can draw. So I started drawing a lot of different what you call it, cartoon characters.
Mhm.
And my first painting was actually Stitch from Lilo and Stitch,
Oh, wow.
and I did Stitch on a flower, and the background was pink and purple, and it was really really pretty. So I did that. My second painting was Winnie the Pooh, and it came out really really nice as well. So everyone's also asking like, "Are you selling that?" And they were telling me like, "You should sell." And it's like I didn't really know how to charge people. I didn't know
Mhm.
anything about business. I didn't know nothing about that at the time. So it was like really hard for me to start the business, but I feel like it kind of fell in my hands to sell paintings. So I was like, I'm not gonna give up on this opportunity. I feel like there's a sign. Like everyone's telling me like you should sell paintings. Like you're really good at it. I would buy that. Hearing people say I would buy that was like, okay, maybe I should take this seriously. So I started painting at home and seeing what I knew how to draw so that way I can put it out there. And for the most part, like my most bought paintings are Boondocks. Like a lot of people love that
Oh,
one.
yeah, I
I've
seen that
sold
one.
so many Boondocks paintings, and within 1 year of me painting, I've sold over 50 paintings in that 1 year.
Wow, that's amazing.
So that was like very, very encouraging for me. I mean,
Mhm.
I kind of fell on the painting because I then started my clothing brand. So
Mhm.
once I started my clothing brand, that's when I fell off with the painting. But I do it like here and there now
Mhm.
because I want to make sure and keep up with my painting, make sure I still have the hand for it and stuff
Mhm.
like that. And it goes hand in hand with my clothing line.
It's not falling off because even if you have a clothing line, look at this. It's still
No,
it's
you're
still
right.
there. You're still being an artist, no
Right,
matter
exactly.
no matter if you're just putting on the paint and
Exactly.
the canvas. You're still
Now
an
that's
artist.
true because my designs, all of my designs come from
Mhm.
basically me doing art,
Right.
basically. So, and I sketched this. I actually will always put this out there. It's an image that I sketched
Mhm.
of this. It was literally just a sketch, like little like scribbles
Mhm.
all over, and it turned into this. So like it really came out really, really
Right.
well, honestly, and very detailed on top of that. So a sketch turning into this, like that's one of my biggest accomplishments thus far with my clothing brand.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so last month I interviewed a bunch of women and I asked them to give me a definition of a Garifuna woman. Can you give me your definition of a Garifuna woman?
My definition of Garifuna woman would be first and foremost just like strength. All around is a strong woman. independent woman as well. We have the desire to just do everything ourselves. It's like we gonna get it done. You know,
Right.
that's one thing about Garifuna women is that we find a way, strength, independence, and we can be strict. Like we can be strict upon ourselves and among others as well. So that would be my definition. That sums up a Garifuna woman. Very fun as well. Fun,
Mm-hmm.
funny. We all have a funny personality, I want
How
to
will
say.
you describe your childhood, being that you're a first generation Garifuna American?
Um, my childhood, I would say, could could have been a little bit. It was a little bit tough. I
Mm-hmm.
want to say only because we are the first American born
Mm-hmm.
out here, and adapting to the like difference of culture.
Mm-hmm.
We had to balance the two because it's like our parents would try to show us how they grew up,
Mm-hmm.
but we have to how do you call it, we basically still have to fall into reality. Like reality is I am an American. This is what I have to basically live by, go by. Things didn't work out or aren't going to work out the same way that it did for them. So it's kind of hard to balance the two when you're trying to explain to your parents, like, you know, mom, this is how things are here. It doesn't work out the same way that it did for you when you were home. And sometimes it's hard to see eye to eye on things. It
Mm-hmm.
was very hard to see eye to eye on things because they grew up a certain kind of way versus how we grew up. So trying to explain to, you know, your parents how things actually are in America, it was kind of tough and it was hard for them to see. But one thing I can say is that I'm very, very grateful for being an American because I could have been, you know, a foreigner. I could have been born in Honduras. I could have been raised in Honduras, which I believe would have been 10 times harder than being an American. We have so many opportunities as an American, and I think that that was the goal for our parents. It was, you know, they came out here to give us the better life, to give us the opportunities and everything. So I'm very, very grateful for it, honestly.
Is there any advice that your mom give you that you go by now? Like,
One thing she always definitely did say was, you don't have any friends.
mm-hmm.
Like it was that was like one of the biggest things she told me was, you don't have any friends. Like, and as a little girl I felt like that was harsh. It's like, mom, what do you mean
Mm-hmm.
that I don't got no friends? Like, that's just because you didn't have any friends don't mean that I'm not gonna have any friends. No,
Right.
that's you. We are, I used to really tell her that we are two different people, mom. I
Mm-hmm.
have friends, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And she was right though. She was definitely right. Like, our dad don't have any friends. Like, I think that, so it's something it's something to really thank her for, like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
thank you for letting me know, because that was something that I could think back on. Like, my mom really already told me. So whenever, you know, I fall out with people or something like that, it's like, there you go, my mom's message. I ain't got no friends. Like, she was right. But I mean, it is what it is. I guess with the whole friends thing, it
Mm-hmm.
is what it is. Honestly, like, I
It's okay to
appreciate.
be a loner, and it's also
Yeah.
okay to have like a small group.
Right. Like,
Like,
me not having any friends doesn't make me a bad person.
right.
Honestly, it doesn't make me a bad person. It doesn't make other people bad either. It's just we just don't click. And I,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I felt like her message was more so like, you're not gonna be able to click with everyone. Like, you are
Mm-hmm.
different, so you're not gonna be able to. You can't, I guess, bond and click with everyone. Basically, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
as a little girl, I always thought that I did have friends. It was like, you know, oh, this person really, you know, is cool with me, but it turns out that they ain't really cool with me. They don't really like
Right.
me or whatever the case was. But it's like I said, it is what it is.
That's true.
It is what it is.
What advice would you give a person who wants to start a clothing brand?
My advice to anyone trying to start a clothing brand or any business at all would be to just do it. Like, get started on it. Don't wait. Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't, if you are gonna wait, don't wait too long. While you're waiting, work on it. You know, like, don't expect people to give you answers, because I myself am a gatekeeper. Like, I gatekeep a lot of things
Mm-hmm.
because when I wanted help, nobody was willing to help me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would ask for, you know, advice, and people would leave me on scene. And it's like, if I would have just kept doing that, I never would have gotten the answers that I got now. And I only have the answers I have now because I did my research. I did everything in my power to make sure that my brand would go as planned. So once I really started like staying up late and doing my research and getting all the information I needed to start my brand and actually put in the work to start my brand and buy the materials, buy everything that I needed, that's when things started falling into place for me. And I just kind of like stopped asking people questions. And even when, I mean, at first I wasn't much of a gatekeeper. Like I literally, anybody asked me any question, I would give them the answer. And like people just don't know how to be thankful for certain things.
Right.
Like you give them the answer and they leave me on scene. It's like, well, you're welcome. Like,
right.
How you gonna come ask me questions and then not even thank me for the advice that I gave you?
Right.
And that's a piece of information that you can literally use to really start your business. And mind you, I stayed up late at night to find this information, and I'm just giving you the answer. It's like that. Like I stopped doing that because it's like I'm not gonna be losing sleep. I'm not losing sleep trying to get all this information just to willingly give people the answer.
Right.
Like maybe one day, yes, I'll just, when I make it, I'm for sure gonna drop everything that I used and needed to get
and
up
charge
there
them
for sure, because we're not giving people free information.
Right.
Like it's just, I just feel like it's not fair to myself.
Right.
Like, and maybe that's how other people felt when I was asking them information.
Right,
so
right.
that's why I am the way that I am now. It's like I'm gonna keep the information to myself because I feel like you should work on what you want to work on. You
That's
should
true.
feel like your business is prospering because you put in the work, not because you got the answers from someone else. Like I just feel like you should work towards that goal. You should be able to put that effort in and just be like, you know what, I did that because I feel really, really good about where I am, knowing that I'm the reason. Like although I wanted help and didn't get the help, but it's cool. I still did it and I'm still doing it. And other people should feel the same way. But it would have been cool if people gave me answers though.
To get a little mentor.
Yeah, like, it would have been cool. It would have been
you
cool.
always need to like have like a mentor, or sometimes they just probably feel like I'm not ready for that, ready to be a mentor or stuff like that. Because I've done that in my business, so I have asked questions, and sometimes I would just have like repeated questions, and they'd be like, "Seriously, you asked me for this?" So I kind of stopped doing that myself, like during my business. Like I kind of stopped a little bit, like not overreact, not like basically I'm just overthinking.
Yeah.
So if I overthink, I'm just gonna keep asking you,
right?
And maybe you know the answer because you're a little bit above me.
Right, like you know the you know more information than I do.
So sometimes I do that, and sometimes I just do it myself and stuff like that, and I just do my own research. And
I stopped asking people questions because first of all, I don't like to be ignored. That's one, and it's like I don't know. I just felt like I needed to stop. It was time that I put in the work. Though I slept on my business for like 2 years because you really don't know where to start. You really don't know because like this is a business. Obviously, it's something that you want to go far. Right. It's something you want to flourish. It's something that you want everybody to know about. But it's like, where do I start? How do I get started? What am I supposed to do? Like, do I even have the knowledge? Do I even have, am I gonna be capable of doing these things? Like, how got to know how to communicate. You got to know what you want to do, how you want to do it, what materials you want. It's a lot that comes with this business stuff. It can be overwhelming
when you do it by yourself, it's just like you feel like you're doing enough, but it's not enough.
It's never gonna feel like you're doing enough. Like especially when you're doing it by yourself, it's never ever gonna feel like you're doing. It's always gonna feel like something is missing.
Yep.
Like so. I try my as of right now, the things are going really well. Like people are telling me like you doing your thing. So that's very encouraging and it helps me to like push forward and do more, whatever. And then I listen. Another thing is people need to listen. It can be harsh, it can be good, bad, whatever it is, but listen to your customers, listen to the world. When you have a business, people have a mindset, don't listen to what nobody tells you. It doesn't matter. But when you have a business, you need to listen. Right. Because if you're not listening to your audience, where are you going? They're the ones that are helping you. So if I am getting any help, it's from my audience. It's from my customers and stuff. Like I'm doing the work, yes, but they're helping me. Right. Like without my customers, who am I and what am I doing it for? So listening to them, I listen to that advice. So if I do a design, although I want it to look this way, but if my customers suggest something, I'm gonna do that. So any little changes you need to make, I would say do it. Be open to criticism as well, because you're gonna get that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Be open to negative comments. Though I don't really get that, but you got to be open to it. So whenever, or if I do get negative comments or something like that, I'm ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to have that mindset. Be ready for the negative comment. Like, I feel like the only reason why I don't really get negative feedback is because my brand is strictly about positivity. It's like, what
Right.
can you say about it that's bad? Like, the most you could probably think of is, that design is not all that, but okay, cool. Maybe not for you,
But for someone else.
but for someone else.
Right.
So I try to like do a variety of designs as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I try to make something for everyone. And I don't strictly want to do like streetwear. I feel like as of right now I'm doing streetwear. So it's shirts, shorts, sweatsuits, biker shorts and stuff like that. Eventually later down the line, I want to do dresses. I want to do suits. I want to be able to make clothes of all types.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm currently working on like sewing
Okay.
and a lot of things. I do embroidery. I even bought my embroidery machine when I very first started. Like, embroidery was what I originally wanted to start with.
Okay.
It was strictly just embroidery, but then I started with like vinyl, different types of vinyl and stuff like that. I found interest in it, and then now it's sewing. So I want to make different clothes and a lot of things. Like, I feel like my imagination is like, it's crazy. Like, I'll be thinking about things like, it's cool. Like, it's mad cool to really see what's in my head in person. So, and I like that other people like it as well, and they find interest in it. And my work kind of speaks for itself. I don't necessarily always have to explain what my art is. Yes. It really just speaks for itself. So being able to put that out in the world is really amazing. I like it.
Yeah.
So
and you'd be surprised too, because I feel like the same way sometimes, because I be like, because I do 3D rendering. So
right.
I do measure the size of a space, but I sometimes I just imagine any type of size and see that it's a blank canvases, and then I just starting putting all types like color palettes and furniture and everything in it. And then when I see it on my 3D rendering and it's all done, I'd be like, damn.
No,
all that was in my
like,
head.
yeah, like, that's it do be crazy. And I love seeing the outcome.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what brought me here today. Like, all this time, and sometimes you don't even know what you're capable of until you do it. So seeing all the work just get put out there, and then on top of that, people actually liking it, it's like, oh yeah, you doing your thing. You just gotta keep going. That's all it is. You gotta keep going.
So I want you to tell the audience where they could find you at. And
okay, yes, okay. My first of all, my Instagram for my brand is _unapologetic growth _. So it's 2 underscores, one at the beginning, one at the end. That's like the main thing that I use for like promotional promotional wise. I'm over here tongue twisting. And then my website, I actually have a website. It's called unapologeticgrowth.com. So the way I do things is all my luxury clothing material wise is up on the website. And then if you want to go on the cheaper side, you don't want to spend too much money, that's something that you go on Instagram for. You DM me on Instagram and you be like, I want this, you got a shirt, whatever the case is, and I'll do it that way. So that way you're not seeing 2 of the same things on the website and wondering why one is cheaper than the other.
Okay.
So all my luxury clothing, heavyweight clothing, like almost kind of like designer material, anything, like literally, it's literally the same thing. It's luxury clothing, online only. Then lighter material, you hit me up in the DMs and I got you. I also do, we haven't mentioned it yet, I do customized sneakers. So all the art I just try to like do all in one. So I'm a little bit all over the place with the art. So the canvases, the customization of sneakers, and then it's the clothing brand.
Oh, okay, that's dope.
So the customized, like the sneakers on stuff like that, you could DM me on Instagram. And for the like both quality of my clothing are good. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not selling no cheap, gonna rip as soon as you wear it. Like, but it's just one is better than the other. And I like to give people options. So I have options as far as colors. I have options as far as the quality that you want. So it's really all about what you want to spend your money on and how you want to spend it. I know everybody ain't got it, so it's like if you want to go on the cheaper side, I got you. If you want to spend money, I got you. Either way, you're gonna be good. And what was I gonna say? Online as well. If you want the luxury clothing, but you don't have full money or you don't want to spend all at once, you can do 4 interest free payments.
Oh wow!
So you can pay for whatever you want in four. The lowest minimum would be, I think it's like $50 on the website. So you gotta spend $50 minimum, but you could make 4 payments of that.
Oh, that's good. So you guys make sure you check it out.
Yes.
This has been a good conversation.
No,
We've been
it
talking
was.
for hours.
No, seriously. And it took I'm glad that I was able to do this. It helped, but it definitely helped me open up. It helped me explain my business because I haven't vocally explained my business. It's really just been